I did not realize that learning how to paint skin would change my drawings literally overnight. I am talking less than 24 hours. I've been drawing since I was very, very young. If I had to guess, I'd say about 5 years old. Despite the fact that I have been drawing for over 20 years, I never felt like I could claim that I am an artist. This was because my skill would not progress, or progress so slowly that it seemed like no progress at all anyway. And I was disappointed, yet content with my art in this state, until I started my online graphic novel, The Lost Land Sage. Now I not only had the incentive to progress in my art journey, but I'm also drawing extremely regularly. This means any progress I make is often actually retained. So I learned face structure and the basics of color. I learned anatomy and gesture drawings. I'm by no means an expert, but I have been happy with my progress until I looked at my recently completed novel pages. The characters looked so flat. I tried learning value to add dimension, and that helped a lot. Yet I was still unsatisfied. There was just no life in my characters. So I set off to learn how to paint skin, and it changed everything for me, my art and my graphic novel. By the way, if you want to read the Lost Land Sage prologue, you can at projectsage.thecomicseries.com. Do you smell that? My pie's done. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here to cool. And you guys leave in the comments what kind of pie you think this is, and then I will tell you if you got it right at the end of this video. So, as I said, I have been drawing for like 23 years or so, and over those 2 decades, it has been really easy actually to pick up different skills just here and there. I really do wish I could tell you what exactly changed for me in 2024, but honestly, I do not really know. The only thing that was different was I dedicated like 90% of my free time to developing LLS. Maybe it was the daily drawing, maybe it was the fact that I watched art tutorials as I drew, maybe I was just filled with determination. But one day when watching an art tutorial about color and shading, it just clicked. I'll explain to you what it was that clicked here, but I will also leave the tutorial I watched down in the description. Basically, shadows get cooler and highlights get warmer. What does that even mean? Well, when you are looking at a color wheel, if you move the outer color towards yellow, then it is getting warmer. And if you move it towards blue, it is getting cooler. I know, crazy stuff. Shadows are darker and less saturated. Sure, a lot of you already understand that. However, until you apply the coolness that a shadow creates, the drawing will still fall flat. Highlights are brighter and whiter. Yet, without the warmth that the light brings to your drawing, it still may be left cold. So once I understood this, my flat colors for drawings became vastly better, and this was a great foundation to build on. Despite having finally understood light and shadow, I still felt as if my drawings lacked life. Yes, they did look more like they could actually occupy space, but no, they did not look like there was actually ink running through their veins. And that brought me to step 1, the base. So now that I had that foundation with light and shadow, it was time to build on top of it. And that meant watching another tutorial. This time it was about how to paint skin. Again, I will leave the video below, but I will do my best to summarize what I took from the video myself. After all, the true way to know something is to teach it. So, skin. Like I said, that light and shadow foundation is used as part of this step 1 in painting or coloring skin. Step 1 is the base, the flat colors, if you will. Personally, I find flat colors a term that is entirely misleading because a good base of color to build on already has the light and shadow aspect applied to it. And a little mini rant here, this is where I went wrong for so many years, okay? I thought that the base was just the single flat color of the object that I'm coloring in. So if I'm shading an apple, it's red. This is not the case. A base color of a piece of art should include light and shadow already, okay? Basically, you're coloring in the base like the subject is sitting in a white room with white light. Nothing is just a flat surface ever in the 3D world. So if this object has no dimension whatsoever in a white room with white light, does it exist in 3D space? No, it doesn't. That's just not how 3D space works, and that was a light bulb moment for me. Yeah. So then step 2, we get into like the big shadows. It's like the environmental shadows, and these are those bigger, more obvious shadows that are visible in most references that can be identified by even beginner artists. The environmental shadows are based on, get this, the environment. So with these shadows, the color is heavily based on the environment as well. So I like to use this step as a separate multiply layer and then adjust the opacity as I need it. And that already adds so much to any art piece. And then there's step 3, which is subsurface scatter. And okay, I cannot be the only one who was extremely intimidated by subsurface scattering, right? Please like this video if you also are or were intimidated by subsurface scatter. But basically, what subsurface scattering is, hold up your hand to like a light source if you can. If it's like 3 a.m., go to bed. The light that shines through your skin, the skin glow color, is that subsurface scattering. And it sounds complicated to apply this to any kind of art, but it is so much easier than it sounds. This is why the video thumbnail is what it is. It's so easy. You basically take the color of the skin glow, like a red, an orange, a yellow. It really differs depending on the skin tone, but you take that color and then you basically trace the big shadows, that multiply layer, blend out the edges into the multiply layer, and then like make the edge on the other side a bit softer, make the subsurface scatter layer a lighter color layer, adjust the opacity, and now you have like shiny skin, like a real human being. It's crazy. It's easy. I'm amazed. Anyway, step 4 is bounce light. And bounce light is, he's a funny little guy. And he's just bouncing around every which way, and he takes the color of the object he's bouncing off of with him. Okay, think like 6th grade science class. Mr. Dombro was great for me. Anyway, yeah, so you take the color of like whatever it's bouncing off of, say like, I don't know, green. I'm not an expert, don't listen to me, but take that color and then remember that highlights are warm and brighter and whiter, and then just fill in the indirect or bounce light wherever it hits the skin. Blend the edges again. Don't overblend is another tip that I hear a lot when sort of getting into this like more, I guess, advanced techniques. Don't overblend, but blend out the edges enough. I don't really use a layer, what is it called? A multiply, overlay, whatever kind of layer. I just do it to where it looks right. And that was another step down, another lesson learned. I don't know if I know it good enough because I don't think that explanation was very good, but boom, another step down. And at this point, I was extremely hype. Okay, I was actually painting skin and it actually looked like skin. You could not tell me anything. And then I got to step 5, which was highlight. And that's the final step. And it's very easy for me, and it'll probably be very easy for you too, because it is basically the let it glow step. You're adding like the soft big highlights on a color dodge layer, maybe some harder highlights with the more edge defined brush, and it's so pretty when you add that final light, which is why it's probably a lot of people's favorite step, except for step 6, which is profit. I don't what? That's a joke. That was a bad joke, but it was a joke. What isn't a joke was how much easier all this was than I thought. I was intimidated for so long because I assumed it would be way too hard to learn how to paint skin and other materials. However, once you know the fundamentals, building on that through a laid out process, like these are the steps, is surprisingly simple. Again, I'm no expert, but I am learning and I am improving. And if I said something completely wrong, please tell me so in the comments so we can all learn together. If you think I did pretty good in this video, then you would love to witness my art skill progression firsthand in my online graphic novel, The Lost Land Sage. LLS is about a 20-something-year-old witch, Wisteria, and her journey to and through the Ever to reconnect with her late grandmother. The Ever is a realm between space and time that reveals secrets about the past, clarity about the present, and possibilities of the future. Through Wisteria's journey, she meets some fun, secretive, scary, and cute characters that have their own motives. As the bonds of everyone's relationship grows deeper, so does the tangled web of power, mystery, and lies. Does this sound up your alley? Then visit projectsage.thecomicseries.com and read the entirety of the prologue. Usually I post 2 new pages every other week and upload YouTube videos like this on off weeks, but this week I actually have a surprise for you. You can view the cover and first page of chapter 1 right now, and the next 2 pages will still be live next week and continue on schedule. All of this at projectsage.thecomicseries.com. If you're still here, you may as well just like the video and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Now, let's have us some pie. I made a classic favorite, apple pie. Did you get it right? Here, have a slice anyway. Mmm.